Hey guys, it's Ashley and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this alligator stitch. This is actually an advanced stitch, but I think it's really fun and it is somewhat easy, so I wanted to give it a try. So let's get straight into it. So I'm working with some worsted weight yarn and my 5mm hook, but of course, depending on your pattern, it doesn't matter. And we will be starting with a slip knot. So this is how I do my slip knots. And then insert my hook. And this pattern will be multiples of 5 plus 1. So however big your project is going to be, I'm just going to be doing 20 stitches just for this little demo. So I'm chaining 20 and then one more on the end. Okay, so I have 20, now I'm doing 21. And now I'm going to start by counting down 6 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I will be doing a double crochet into that 6th chain. And then I will be doing a second double crochet in that same chain. And then I will be chaining 1 and then skipping 2 chains, 1, 2, and then putting a double crochet into the 3rd stitch. So the way it's going to go is you're going to have sort of a pattern of 1 double crochet and then 2 double crochets together with 1 chain in between. So there's my 1 double crochet. Now I'm going to skip 2 chains and do a double crochet into the 3rd one. And doing a second double crochet. And then chaining 1 again. And going 1, 2, 3. One more double crochet. Chaining 1. Counting again, 1, 2, 3, double crochet. We're going to be doing 2 into this one. And then you should have 3 more chains left, and then I will be doing my chain 1 and then 1 double crochet into the last chain. And this will be our finished first row. And as you can see, it looks like the pattern of 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 almost looks like Roman numerals actually. And then we will be turning our work. So now that we're looking at this side, we're actually going to be skipping that first post, and we're going to be working into the 2 double crochets together. So that's where our alligator stitches are going to be on. And what you do is you'll be doing a double crochet and you'll be going through the post. So you won't be going through a stitch, you'll be going back around that post. And you'll be doing 5 double crochets onto that one post. So I'm just going to do 1, and you can kind of pull out the post with your fingers just so you can get a better grasp on it, and just do another 4 double crochets onto that post. And then you are essentially making the 1/2 of the shell, I guess you can call it. And then once you've done your 5 double crochets, then you're going to do a chain 1. And then this is going to be the little tricky part where you're going to turn your work, and then you're going to go into that second post. Remember at the beginning you started with the 2 double crochets together, so that second post you will be going to do 5 more double crochets, and we're going to be working back up this post. So if you can see what I'm doing, it's almost like I'm doing it backwards. So I'm just going through that post again, doing another 5 double crochets, and then that will form my first alligator stitch. Hopefully it's easier to see than me explaining it, just because I might not be explaining it very good. Okay. So once you're done that, you will kind of flip it back over, and then you will see your alligator stitch. And how adorable is that? So from here, you're going to go into the double crochet that is solo, and you'll be doing a slip stitch or a single crochet in this case into the stitch above that double crochet. So you're not going to go into that post like you do with the alligator stitches. And then from there, you're going to do double crochets, 5 double crochets into the next post, and be doing that process all over again. So make sure you're in the 2 double crochets together. So basically, when you went into the top of the double crochet, the solo one, you were just kind of tacking down the part of the alligator shell. So you're just, a little tack there just to make sure that it doesn't, fly around. So now we are just doing the rest of our 5 onto this post. And then again, you will be doing your chain 1. And then flipping your work. And then finding that second double crochet. And then again, you're going to be doing 5 double crochets back up the post. So if you do want to have maybe a more of a pointy shell, you do have the option of doing 2 chains in between the 5 sets, or the 5 double crochets. So, or you can do a picot as well to make it even more sharper. So you would do 5 double crochets, then maybe 2 chains, and then again 5 double crochets. Just all depends on the look you like. You can try either one and see which one you like the best. Okay, then we're going into that solo double crochet and doing a slip stitch to tack it down again. And now we have 2 completed alligator stitches. And now I'm just going to be working the 3rd alligator stitch on this row very, very quickly, because I'm hoping that you got this part down, and then at the end I will show you how you're going to finish off the row and get started on your 2nd row. The beginning and the ending of the rows is what confused me the most about this stitch. So you really want to pay attention, and you really want to remember those, because the alligator stitch itself is quite easy, but the starting and the stopping and that can be a little bit tricky. So this is the back. It doesn't look great, so if you're going to be making this for a project, you might not necessarily want to be able to see the back of it. So now that I've started my 2nd row, I'm doing 3 chains, and that will count as my first double crochet, and then I will be doing another double crochet into that same spot. Now it's not necessarily a stitch there, but you're kind of just gonna make one. You're just gonna put it where that chain came out of. And then you will be going into the center of that alligator stitch, and you will make 1 double crochet. And then you are going to go in between the 2 alligator stitches. There is that post, that solo post that we worked with on the last row, and you're just going to sort of make another stitch. There's not really a stitch there, but I mean there could be, but it's definitely buried. So now you're going to do 2 double crochets. So we started with 2 double crochets, then we went 1, and now we're doing 2, and now we're going to again do 1 more in the middle of that alligator stitch. And sorry if I didn't mention this, make sure you are chaining in between. So it's basically like the first row again, with the, you always have to make sure there's chains in between. So when you start with 2 double crochets, you're going to want to end with 2 double crochets. If you start your row with 1 double crochet, then you're going to want to end your row with 1 double crochet. And I will show you what I mean. So again, I'm doing the 2 double crochets, but I'm kind of sort of just making a spot there at the end of that alligator stitch. And then I will chain 1 and then flip my work. And now on this row, because there's the 2 at first, you will go, it's kind of tricky, but you got to go straight into that post. And you're going to start the alligator stitch process again by doing 5 double crochets. So I kind of just, manipulated my hand so that I can get a better grip on that post. Oh. And then you will again do your chaining 1 and then flip your work and then find that second double crochet and make sure you don't do this. This is wrong. You're gonna make sure that it's flipped over, like as if you're doing it backwards. And then I'm going to do another 5 double crochets. And the way this stitch goes is that each row won't be aligned with each other. The scales kind of look staggered, so they're not going to all line up perfectly. So every time there is 2 alligator stitches, the row on top, the 1 alligator stitch is going to be in between. As you can see, like they're all offset. Okay, so then I did my slip stitch into my double crochet that's all by itself. And then I'm going to go into, again, go ahead and do the alligator stitch into the first post of the following double crochet. Now I'm just doing my last one of the 5, and then doing my chain 1 and then flipping my work, and I'll be working back up that second post. So hopefully you are getting the alligator stitch down at this point. So even though it says that it's an advanced stitch, I'm not advanced, so definitely intermediate, I'd say. But I did just start crocheting about a year ago, so definitely haven't been doing this for 60 years like some people. I'm not that old, mind you, but you know. Okay, so see how they're all offset? It makes for a very scaly. A lot of people like to use this for the mermaid tail blankets. That's really where the big boom in this stitch has come from, because it looks like fish scales, or you know. It's very thick, and I imagine it takes a lot of yarn if you're going to do a mermaid tail. So if you're going to do a adult size, I hope that you invest in a ton of skeins. Okay, so now I'm just speeding through my last alligator stitch, and then I will, so here is my second row, as you can see. And from here, I want to make it all even. So by even, it's going to go 3 4 3 4 3 4 if I just kept going. But if I wanted to increase, then from here I would make sure that I would do 2 double crochets. So the first thing I did was I did a chain 1, and then I slip stitch immediately into that first alligator stitch. And then I'm going to do a chain 3, and then chain 1 more, and then go into that post that's all by itself, and do 2 double crochets. So if you wanted to increase, then I would say refer back to when we started row 2, because that would that's how you would increase. You would just keep going like that. Every time you start a new row, start with 2 double crochets. If you wanted to not increase, then you start with 1 double crochet. And every time you do a row, always make sure that you start off with 1 double crochet, you end off with 1 double crochet, and the same with having 2, you end off with 2. Unless you're going for something, you know, unless that's the look you want to get. So now I'm just finishing off this. This would be the 4th row. And then that's pretty much it. So hopefully you can take it from here, and you know, you're off and running. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I do plan on having a little project with this alligator stitch coming soon. So don't forget to subscribe if you want to be notified of that. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and you know, hashtag me if you make any of my creations. And comment, like, subscribe, and share. Definitely share. It would be awesome if you would share my videos to all of your other crocheting friends. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!